Right, we're brushed up and ready, 8:30 in the morning. We are on a road trip to North Devon to see my mate Paul with a tree. So he's one of the 40. Harry's loaded up. Harry, you just shut the door. Harry, you need to load up the tree in the back of the car. I'll tell you what, you bring those. So you got the snacks for the journey? Okay, you bring that. It's quite a nice tree, this one. This is one from the local nursery. Got my wife's car, which is nice. Better than driving my old Batmobile. Right, so tree from Gloucestershire to Devon. All right, Az? Yep. Have you got the cover?
What cover?
The cover for the tree. Don't forget it. Okay? And the stake. Very important to get that. It's a bit cold and windy in there. I'm glad you got your flat cap on. Keep your ears warm. All right, load up and we'll go. Let's go. Right, Harry's loaded up. We're off on our little trip. It's a lovely, should be a good day out. We're stopping at Sedgemoor Market on the way down to record a little video with the person who runs Sedgemoor Market. We're going to do that. That's a separate video coming up soon. So anyway, as you well know, these trees are going out. 40 trees for 40 years of farming for me. Ollie Blogg saw his my 40th birthday. Got that a little bit wrong. So the English trees came from Ash Ridge Nursery, and they've sent this little video just to show what they do. So I thought I'd just edit this in. This is a little video of Ash Ridge Nursery coming up. There is an Irish nursery as well. I haven't got a video from them. They're away on holiday, so maybe I'll get something off them at another time. But this is Ash Ridge Nursery. Have a look at this. Anyway, we're off to Devon.
Hi, I'm Frankie, and this is ashridgetrees.co.uk. We're supporting Rich's 40 Trees for 40 Years project. We have lovely trees, bare root trees, all waiting to be dispatched to our customers. These have already been lifted from the fields, and they're kept in these sawdust beds to protect the roots. Let's try and lift this one out so you can see. I'm just lifting. Got the tree roots there, all the way up. They're huge trees, some of them 3 meters tall, 3 meters plus. Take a look at our fruit trees. We have many fruit trees available: apples, pears, plums, cherries, damson, gage. Already, these are all been lifted for our customers, ready to be sent out. In a minute, I'll show you how they get dispatched. We are tree packing experts. Been doing this since 1949.
With both receipts itinerant. Right, we are on the road. How do you feel about getting up at this time of day, Harry?
That's fine.
I'm driving
more
Mum's.
of a lion than school time.
I'm having a lovely drive on Mum's car actually. So we got about a 2-hour drive to North Devon, to a friend of mine, someone who grew up near the farm. He was at the bottom of the drive when I was sort of 15, or I first knew him when I was 10. And he used to come up on the farm and do work with us and help out when he was a teenager. He then went off into another industry. He wanted to do farming, but it wasn't really an opening for him. And he's come back full circle, and now he's my age with a small holding in North Devon. So we're taking the tree to him. It's quite exciting actually, because the one thing about this is connecting people. I'm connecting back with my friend Paul, a permanent thing there on his place. So this is our little road trip adventure, me and Haz, and we are stopping at Sedgemoor Market on the way, aren't we?
Yep.
And then we're going on to North Devon. Driving Mum's lovely shiny car. I'm going to change my car this year because mine's a bit rubbish. I need to get a better car because I can't. It's getting to the point where I can't sort of rely on it for long journeys. So anyway, we're driving Mum's lovely car, which is it's very fast actually. Hope we don't get a speed ticket. Right, let's crack on. Okay, we're just entering into Sedgemoor Market now. So there's going to be a separate video coming up, but you can watch that another day. This is I just put this the second bit of Ash Ridge Nursery's video in, and then we'll continue our road trip.
Okay, I'm now in our cold store. So as you can see, this is where we keep many of the varieties of hedging. So they're all kept in their dormant state, so that when they get to our customers, they're ready for planting. All guaranteed. Here we have some hedging loaded up, ready to go out with an order. Our potted stock available now. Obviously it's winter planting season, so we're more kind of focused on the trees and the hedging, but we do have potted shrubs available for you to buy, climbers to add to your gardens. We're now in the packing shed, so as you can see, these are orders that have now just been picked and they're ready to be packaged up. And here's one of the packing benches. And we're just getting some plants, some berry plants, getting ready to send out to the customer. We're going to give the roots a little bit of a water so they're ready to be planted straight away when the customer receives them. Thanks, Joe. Lovely. Here we have our plants now packaged up, ready to be sent out. We've got hedging, trees, shrubs, all kinds in there. Look at those trees there, they're huge, massive long parcels. And hopefully they'll get there nice and safely to our customers. Thanks for watching.
You want a Charolais, do you?
Yeah.
Charolais boy.
You have to come here.
Right, we just come out of the market. We are back on our road trip. You can see our video of the market. It'll be up another day. We are heading down to North Devon now to plant this tree. Right, Az. You ready?
Yep.
Got your tree planting skills ready?
Yep.
Good. Let's go. Right, we're back on our road trip after stopping there at the market. We had a chat with Catherine Mead, which is now Hawks, but Derek Mead's daughter, who runs the market. So we're off now back down to my friend Paul's. We've got about an hour to drive. How did you find going to the market, Harry?
Good. Didn't buy anything though.
What would you like to buy, Paul?
Sheep.
Sheep.
Yeah.
Any particular sheep?
No, not really. Just
How many sheep?
20.
20 sheep? We haven't got space for 20 sheep. Where are we going to put them?
I know. Hayfield.
All right. Okay. Road trip. Keep going. Good big wind turbines there, Harry.
Continue for 4 miles.
Look at that. Impressive, aren't they?
Yeah.
You can tell we're in Devon now. We're in proper tractor land. What's he got on there? He's got a
Digger.
Got a digger. We're stuck behind a tractor now, Harry. Can you believe that? What are we stuck behind, mate?
John Deere.
Harry's doing tractor spotting. From miles away, he said that's a John Deere, whatever. What model number?
I'm saying 6125R.
I've run out of screen wash and my car's really dirty. What do you reckon that is?
6125R.
Is it? Yeah, I saw an R. It is a 6125R. Fair play to you, Harry. You know your tractors.
My mate's got.
How did you know that? You saw it from miles off.
My mate's got a 130 and they look pretty much similar.
Right. Fair play to you. See what other tractors we'll spot on the way. Milk tanker, Arla, and we've got a. This is like a little rural spot the farmer, spot the tractor. In front of us, we've got a cattle box. Farmers towing these cattle. I've just seen a sign for the British Hen Welfare Trust as well. That's where we got our rescue
In
hedge
a quarter
from.
of a mile, turn right.
Nearly there. 5 miles this time.
Another farm. There's New Holland up here. Big farm.
Big farm, isn't it? I think that's a dairy farm.
Definitely.
What they got on the back of there?
2 New Hollands.
That's a chopper, is it?
McHale straw chopper, yeah.
Yeah, and
Loon
there's
tractor.
There's some grain in there. You know, the worst bit about driving, this is why I don't generally like driving, is that as a farmer who doesn't get out a lot, when I do get out, I drive places like that and I just want to look at what they're doing. Not in a kind of way, yeah, in a nosy kind of way, but in a kind of, just an interest. It's like, oh, they got a forager in there or whatever. It's just, and so when I'm driving, that's a nightmare because I can't look. So Harry was looking there and doing commentary. Anyway, we're nearly at my friend's house now. Quite a few distractions. Hey, right, so we've stopped up. We have actually had our lunch. Very nice cottage pie, wasn't it? Yep. And Paul's going to be around in a minute. We'll have a chat with Paul in a minute. So we're gonna plant the tree. If we get it out, ooh, I'll try not to snap that end off. Right. This is a good tree, Harry, because it's tall as you, look.
Much taller.
I believe you might be on a quad bike in a minute.
Maybe.
There you go. There's the doggies. Hello. Hello. They're cute, aren't they? Right. Let's see where we're going with this. Right. I'm gonna chuck the camera on Paul in a minute. He's hiding in this shed. I've got the camera out now, Paul. So in a minute I'm going to ask you a few questions. So Harry has gone off on a quad bike. He is in his element now, really. Paul's got a nice shiny quad bike. You're looking for a spade at the moment. Come here a minute, and I'm going to chat to this guy that I've known now. I think I met you when I was probably 10. 45 years ago, Paul. Right, here we go, mate. Now, I know you're not used to me putting a camera on you, but I'm going to ask you a couple of questions before we go off and plant this tree. So, Paul, we've known each other a long time, and you used to come up on our farm and play around and stuff. And then you had a passion for farming, really, didn't you? But you kind of went out of farming when you were probably in your teens, were you?
Yeah, I mean, well, when I left school, really. So you had had the life that I really wanted, but I didn't have the choice that you had. So, yeah, left school and went off and enjoyed a career in sort of lorries and distribution and pubs and whatnot. And my career has been fortunate for me that I've been able to earn enough money to be able to sort of have a bit of what I wanted. I know. Don't be modest about yourself, Paul, because the thing is, you've got a very good ability at being able to do farming stuff, haven't you? You're quite confident on a tractor, and it's really nice the fact that you've made to be able to come back to where you really wanted, isn't it? Yeah, and I love it, and you know, I would have loved to have done it, but didn't have that opportunity. But yeah, and I bought a few tractors. I've probably got as many tractors as some people who've got a proper farm.
I noticed a cheeky little Ford down there. Harry's been playing around on that. You had a Ford, and what made you buy a Ford?
Well, when I was sort of farming as a teenager, that was the tractor on the farm that I used to run that they had. So,
yeah, of course it was, wasn't it?
So, you know, I've always sort of wanted one of those. So I got the opportunity to get one, and here we are. And it sits mainly doing that, doesn't work.
The interesting thing is, if you probably pursued a career in farming, you know, when you left school, you probably wouldn't be able to afford to actually buy the land that you have got now, because farming money doesn't really pay that well if you're just working on one, does it? No,
I mean, I'm fortunate enough to recognise that, and you know, my parents recognised that as well. They couldn't buy me a farm either. No. So, and you'll be well aware, I mean, farming is a generational thing. I did look into renting at one point, but that is tough. I mean, farming's tough. It is, yeah, and you appreciate that, and I appreciate that. I know you know what you're doing, because a lot of people who buy a piece of land think they can do it, and then they realise that it's a lot more involved than you think, isn't it? Well, even we've got just short of 40 acres, right? And you know, I love it, but even 40 acres is probably of 52 weeks of a year, it's probably 40 of them I've got to do something here. If it's tidy a hedge, it's cut a field. So you've got to enjoy it, you want to do it, but it's my hobby, I love it. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for letting me put this camera on you. Right, let's go and dig this hole. And where are we putting it then, Paul? Nice big hole. Too difficult to dig. It's not a bad size. I don't think you want a tree bigger than that, because they're less likely to make it. The more, sorry, I'll move out of the way. The bigger the tree, the more likely it's going to die. Is that right? Yeah, because, well, the thing is, you're transplanting something with a big root structure. You know, it's like you see these housing estates where they put these trees in, and then they don't come back and water them and look after them, and they're all dead within a year. What's your soil like? It's quite clayey here, isn't it? You can see the clay in it, can't you? Yeah. Although it's... Well, compared with my soil, it's clayey anyway. It's probably not that bad, but it's just... It's not that Devon red iron soil. Come on, let's find a Roman hoard. I don't think we will. Yeah, you never know. My brother-in-law's got a metal detector. He's big on metal detectors. He's been through this. Yeah, I know. Do you know what? We've detected all over our farm, never found anything very exciting. Well, he finds something every time he comes out, actually.
Yeah, the guy who does for us finds them, but mostly it's Victorian pennies that are all corroded.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't ever find anything really very exciting.
There's some silver here.
Has he?
Silver coins.
Has he?
There used to be, so in that field there used to be a cottage, I guess.
Right.
Okay. And you can just, we've got a drone,
Yeah.
if you look down on
Right,
it,
you can see where it's been.
So he always thinks that's where we're going to find something.
You hoping?
Well, do I take the roof covering off?
Oh, I didn't realise it had that on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's just bind it together in some soil to keep it from drying out. I don't know, actually. I presume you take it off. I didn't even know it had that. I hadn't taken it out of the bag. I haven't got a knife with me. It must have been grown in that, is it? I see.
So a bit of
Funny looking stuff, isn't it?
only tied on.
I wouldn't have thought it would do it any good leaving it in there. Maybe when they dug it, they just put it in that. I had some that were bare rooted, you see, and he gave me this one in the bag, and I assumed it was just in some soil. I didn't realise it had that sort of net wrapped around it. But that's probably just, like I said, stop it disintegrating.
This one's
Money back guarantee, Paul. If this doesn't survive, I'll bring you another one.
There's an opportunity.
It's a nice size, actually.
I don't know if I can undo
You don't want them too small either. That was the difficulty I had choosing these trees. I didn't want one that was too small because otherwise you've got to wait a long time for them to grow.
Well, that one that you've got, you said it was 40 years, 30 years?
What, the one we were planting with my dad? That was probably about 20 years ago.
I mean, that's a good tree.
It's done really well, yeah, amazing.
Why has that gone so quickly?
There was a really good one to start with, right.
Let's lift that in like that.
Shall I
keep that, can I?
I'll put that soil there. Yeah, there you go. Well, that's all right, isn't it? I think you got that about right.
You got that?
I'll hold it, you shovel. There we go. Heel it in. That's looking good. There's nice little copse here, isn't it? What have you got? What trees are in here then? Do you know what these are?
Well, definitely some sycamore.
Yeah.
Silver birch, I think. Quite a few acers.
Yeah.
The people who owned it, so people who owned it before us didn't really. They were older, didn't really do very much with it. But people before that spent a fortune on it. They used to let people come round at the weekends, look around the garden.
Really? Wow.
And the gardens apparently were designed by Savills.
Right.
Back in the turn of the 20th century.
Up there, yeah.
But they spent obviously a lot of time and effort putting in a load of trees.
Right.
But you can see
some of them have come to the end of their life. Yeah.
It's good to be able to replace them.
Well, it is, isn't it? I mean, that's what you've got to do with whole trees on a farm, really. I mean, so speaking of my experience on farming is the fact that it's all very well looking around thinking I've got a lot of my trees on my farm, but with the modern hedge trimmer, what happens is all the young ones get cut off when they're hedge trimming, and no one needs one to replace them. So you do need to have some young stock coming through, in the same way as if you have a dairy herd, you've always got young stock replacements. Get some young trees on your farm now, because you'll benefit from that in 50 years time. There we go.
That's really good.
There we go. Right, I'm going to come back and see that in 10 years time, but I'll be back before then, Paul, don't you worry.
It might be like Trigger's shovel. His broom.
How many new trees are you going to put in?
Yeah, make sure that every time you come back you see a decent tree.
I'll come back and I'll go, do you know what? I could have sworn I gave you an oak tree, not a copper beech.
I could have sworn it was that size 10 years ago.
Yeah. So there we go. So we got a 10 years. It's not bad. I think that's a nice size. I don't think it would take too long to get going, you know.
So his first year is the one you need to look after.
Definitely got to make sure this summer you come out and check that it's still alive, and water it really. As soon as it starts getting a bit dry from about April onwards, you need to make sure it's got some water on it. The best thing is just to have a few containers of water, leave them out here and just chuck a bit on every now and then. Because when I planted that apple orchard, the first year I planted that, I had a nightmare. It was a really dry spring.
Yeah.
I thought I'd go and see how the orchard was doing. I went out and half of them were wilting. And it was like panic mode, and I did lose a couple because I left it too late to water them. But this one will be all right.
Yeah,
brilliant.
We put a few apple and pear trees in the other field. The same thing, really. And it's amazing how much water they'll take.
Oh, they will. God, gallons. You've got to just make sure that they have a first year. On the John Deere now, look. Get the fire going. Bit of old wood. You're going to get this blaze going then, are you?
2 jobs lined up.
I know. Look at that. Bring it out. It's going underneath just about, isn't it? Did you put any diesel on there? Or is that
Maybe.
just a little, that's a cheeky starter fire, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Need the wing to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Get it going. Get it going.
That'll go.
Well, let's fix stuff.
So you got to make sure that's it. It's there.
Nice.
Oh, that's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better, isn't it? It's just right for a winter's day, isn't it? A bit of fire. I love a fire. Love a fire. Come on, dog. That's going to go well now, isn't it?
That on top of it?
That's that. Spot on. We love a bonfire. Well, I'm back from North Devon. See my friend Paul there. Fantastic to catch up with him, and it's really good to actually get a few minutes with him talking on camera about how he's managed to get into farming from a different route than, say, me, who was born into farming. It's an example of there is an opportunity if you're really keen on farming, and I've seen this from some of the people who've applied for trees. They've told me their story, how they've actually really gone for it, and you can go for it too if you are interested in farming. It's a struggle, I don't deny that. To actually get on the farming ladder if you're not born into it is difficult, very difficult. But from what I've seen from my friend Paul and from some of the people who've applied to me for trees, there's people out there who can do it. So a great example there anyway. Right, so I'm actually at the post office now with a load of cards. I have actually picked the recipients of my trees now. I did it on Sunday. It was a lucky dip in the end, actually, because the reality is I had over 100 people apply for trees. A lot of really nice stories, backstories. Some people had were planting in memory of loved ones that had died and things, and really everyone deserved one. And it was, I sat there and I thought, you know what, I can't pick who's going to get this. So what I did, I actually put them in a hat and pulled them out, which has made for some interesting choices, actually, because they're not, you know, if I was going to pick them scientifically, I would have put one evenly spaced all over the country, whereas I seem to have a few in Devon and a few in Norfolk, 2 in Norfolk, right over the far side. So if I'm going to go and visit those, I've got to drive, but they are they're still spread out quite well. They're in some in Yorkshire and Somerset and different places. I think there's 4 in Wales. I tried to evenly match them around, so I think there's more in the UK or England than there is in, say, Scotland. Scotland's, I think there's 2, plus obviously sheep game, 3 in Scotland. One's going to the Outer Hebrides up there, which I'm quite excited about. That's a hell of a journey as well if I want to go and see that. Yeah, so I'm just in the process of sorting that out. Like I said, I've written a card to everyone who's getting a tree to say well done, and I'm arranging with the courier to send them. Ashridge Trees have been very generous. They're sending a £40 gift voucher, I think, out to the people who are successful as well, so they can spend online. I'm in the process of sorting that out. Anyway, so if you're watching this and you've been emailed by now, if you haven't heard from me, unfortunately you did, and you entered, you're not going to be a recipient of one of the trees. But my message for you is this, right? Okay. And not just the people who applied, but anyone who's got a bit of land, is think about maybe planting a tree. Maybe I'm hoping this video will inspire some people to go out there and put a tree on their land. Because although you might have to go out and spend 20, 30 quid, depending where you get it from, that money is invested for the future and will pay you back over your lifetime and other people's lifetime. Whereas if you go out for an evening and buy yourself a meal in a restaurant and a few pints, really fantastic, but that's gone, isn't it? It's gone forever. So maybe you could consider doing something like this yourself, or, you know, if you haven't got your own land, maybe approach someone a local school or, you know, parish council or something like that, park, you know, local council, and say, I'd be interested in funding a tree, would you be interested in planting it? And that way, you know, even if you haven't got land yourself, you can contribute to the environment we all live in. Right, anyway, that's enough yakking. I am really pleased how this project panned out, actually. It has been a bit of a headache to sort out, arrange everything, coordinate it all. But do you know what? The best bit is, once this is all sent out, I can sit that back and hope these trees will take. And hopefully over the next 10 years, I'm going to visit them all. That's quite a challenge because it's a lot of driving. You know, I'm not a big driving fan. Anyway, Harry said he'd come with me. By the time he's 17, he can drive, and that will be a hell of a scary ride, won't it? Hey, God, like, he wants a Subaru Impreza. I'm just like, no, Harry, no. I'm going to get you something really old, really slow, with airbags everywhere. Right, anyway, crack on. Happy tree planting.